Welcome back to 3-Minute Theology. Today we're talking about the song, "Oh Help My Unbelief" by Isaac Watts. It's a song of salvation and sanctification. The first verse begins with our fallen condition. How sad our state by nature is, our sin, how deep it stains, and Satan binds our captive minds fast in his slavish chains. We were born into sin. It corrupts every part of our nature. Every thought, every action, every word is stained by sin. And our minds are held captive by sin. We believe Satan's lies and are enslaved by the belief that sin is better than God's righteousness. We're helpless in our natural state. But the song moves on to the gospel call. But there's a voice of sovereign grace, sounds from the sacred word. Ho ye despairing sinners, come and trust upon the Lord. In our despair, the gospel tells us of the great work that Jesus has done and calls us to believe on him in faith. And so we respond to the gospel. This is conversion, the second verse. My soul obeys the almighty call and runs to this relief. I would believe thy promise, Lord. Oh, help my unbelief. Unto the fountain of thy blood, incarnate God, I fly. Here let me wash my spotted soul from crimes of deepest dye. Christians are those who have obeyed God's almighty call. We've found it irresistible, and so we run to him by grace, asking him to strengthen our faith and to help our unbelief. We go to the fountain of Jesus' blood to be washed from our sins, sins that can be cleansed by nothing except the sacrifice of Jesus. And then, after we have become Christians, the work of sanctification absorbs, consumes, fills the rest of our lives. The third verse, stretch out thine arm, victorious King, my reigning sins subdue, and drive the dragon from his seat with all his hellish crew. A guilty, weak, and helpless worm, on thy kind arms I fall. Be thou my strength and righteousness, my Jesus and my all. Everything in the Christian life is dependent upon God's grace. And so we call to our King to subdue our reigning sins. That is those sins that are habitually present in our lives. The sins we can't seem to stop. We ask God to conquer these sins. And the dragon, who is Satan, is asked to be driven completely from the seat that he used to occupy, blinding our minds and taking us captive to his falsehoods. We acknowledge our weakness, our unworthiness, but we rest in God's grace and his mercy and his kindness. He is our strength and he is our righteousness. He is our everything. And so, as you struggle against sin, don't just try harder. Look to Jesus. Remember his work, remember his promises, and cry out, "Oh, help my unbelief." Thank you for joining us. Until next time, keep on, and God bless.